Yeah, this do look good. Mm, this do look good. Oh man, I mean, I'm trying to see if it's gonna connect to my. Hopefully, this will give us a better thing. So, what's up to everyone? This is a late night live, man. I normally do it on Sunday, but I have not did it in a while. But I wanted to uh, come on here and do this live because it hit my soul a while ago to actually do this live. So I had to come in, and I'm not feeling the best, but I wanted to come on in and do this, talk to you guys for a minute, and I think it's some things that I'm gonna talk about that is it's very important and so many people can relate to, which is on the title. If you read the title, um, pretty much talking about I'm gonna talk about hard times humbling uh, becomes humbling. So uh, first of all, if this is your first time here, if you decide to stay, I do appreciate you for coming in, and I do ask that you hit that thumbs up button, and if you enjoy this channel, please don't hold back. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel, and we would love to have you. And God bless you. God bless you. So, I was sitting earlier, and y'all excuse me, I'm a little bit under the weather. Well, everybody's in the house dealing with 19. So, if you guys understand what I'm saying, um, going through it kind of rough right now. So, and it's got the sinuses congested, sneezing, coughing. Baby girl running temperatures. Janetta just getting over hers, with body aching and laying around, didn't want to move. Um, so it's pretty much in the household right now. But we gonna still keep pushing. At least I do. I know I gotta keep pushing. So, um, but like I said, man, I was sitting earlier, and I was um, I was thinking. As a matter of fact, I had walked through down the hall, and I was thinking that certain uh, things that we go through, it really is good that we face tough times, um, because it's good for the soul, and a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people don't understand that hard times uh, can become very humbling, and we all have experienced that. We all have experienced it in some sort of way of dealing with some hard times. Uh, Whether it be losing a job, whether it be losing a loved one, whether it be going through domestic issues, relationship issues, mental challenges, substance abuse, um, financial problems. Regardless of what it is, it can become humbling. Um, it can humble us in such a way that only uh, God can humble us. And one thing about it is you have, excuse me. One thing about it is you have to understand is it's either gonna humble you or it's gonna break you. And humbling you, it begins to remake you all over again. And me, myself, even with dealing with some issues, I was looking at my wife when she first came down sick with 19. I looked at her here, the other day, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I was like, I got to work, and I got to make sure mommy's okay. Got to make sure kids okay. They do homeschool. Got to make sure she don't have to stress about nothing. Um, and also got to make sure that they don't get sick, as well as myself. But I had already made up in my mind that regardless if I get sick or not, I still have to keep going. I had already made up in my mind that. Um, but one thing it did do, it showed me, and I talked to my wife when um, when she, you know, got better. I told my wife, I was laughing and talking with her. If you're in here, y'all let me know that you're in here. Thumbs up live. Just say hello. Even if you haven't been here in a long time and you're sitting in, just say hello. I would love to know that you're in here. Um, I was talking to my wife after the fact that she got better. I was talking to my wife and I told her, I said, baby, I said, you know what? I said, when you took sick, I said, I said, you was very quiet. You was very quiet. And hello, Mr. Jones. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I hope that I can say something that will encourage you or help you in a blessed way while you are in here. So thank you so much. And if you will, please share out the live for me. I'm not as energetic, but um, you know, it is what it is. But I was talking to her, and I was laughing with her. And Miss J Explorer, thank you for coming in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. Hope you enjoy your stay while you're here. Um, and also, don't forget to hit that like button and y'all share it out if you don't mind. If you don't mind, because I think some things gonna be said that is very important that we overlook a lot of times. But like I was saying, being comical with my wife, I told my wife, I said, baby, I said, and if you all the ones that's just coming in, y'all, I'm dealing with 19. Okay, y'all know what I'm trying to see 19. So my wife, the entire family here in the house is dealing with it. So y'all have to forgive me because a little bit under the weather, coughing, sneezing, runny nose, but we're gonna keep pushing. So y'all hear her coughing in the background. But I was being comical with my wife, and I told her, and sometimes you have to be able to take your tough times and your hard times and sometimes make light of them and utilize them for a learning tool. So I told my wife that I said, baby, I said, let me tell you. I said, I was just sitting here looking at you, and as I began to take care of you and look at you as I go to work and I call home, make sure you was okay. I said something hit my spirit. I said it wasn't anything to be negative about or anything such as that because it dealt with me in a more of a spiritual way. Um, I said I'm looking at this whole picture and I'm looking at it in a way that it it really touched me. I said, looking at you lay in bed and don't want to move, your bones is hurting, you're aching, um, runny nose, no taste bud, and don't want to eat nothing, don't want to do nothing but sleep. So we're trying to, my girls and all trying to get her up, keep her up moving while they try to do their homeschool as well. shortness of breath, all this kind of stuff. And I told her, I says, as I sit here and I look at you and I try to make sure you're taken care of, I said, one thing I did realize is that you were quiet. You were quiet than you normally be. And I explained to her what I was saying. I told her, I said, I started to put on Facebook the most enjoyable time with my wife is when she's sick. It's when she is sick. She's quiet. She's humble. But I was being comical. I was being comical with her at that particular time. And if you know me, you have to know my wife. I'm just try to make light and fun of different things to lighten the moment. Even during your tough time, being here at home, it's easy to play into your down time. But how much energy do we put into lifting a situation up during a difficult time? And so that's what I was doing. I was trying to take that opportunity to, make light of it. And actually, it worked. Me and my wife sat there and we talked on the phone as I was at work. And I was explaining it to her. And like I told her, I think I was at work. I might have been here. But I told her, I said, baby, I said, just to be honest with you, I started to put it on Facebook, but I did not. I did not. I was going to mess with you. I said, but I did not. And also, what you have to understand is there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and place for everything. So what I thought would have been the comical and funny and the humorous at the time, it still hit my spirit and God dealt with me. The time is not now. And it began to deal with me and understand I can play with her, but I don't need to try to make too light of it because of how serious the situation could possibly be. Welcome in, Miss Catherine. Thank you for coming in. And that's what a lot of us need to do. We need to understand that there's a time and a place for everything to be able to um, make light of things, but we got to know when, how, and where. And so I carried on with her about it, and I began to tell her, I said, baby, it began to deal with me in a spiritual way, though. I said, begin to deal with me in such a spiritual way. Welcome in, Casey. Welcome in. Um, and when it began to deal with me in a spiritual way, it seemed like God began to show my spirit something, speak to my spirit, and show me the things that we take for granted can be gone within a drop of an eye, within a blink of an eye, within the next breath. It can be gone, such as my wife. So many people have faced this situation that we're going through right now, and so many did not make it. So many people did not make it. So many young people did not make it. And I began to look at it. I was like, man, two different things I began to look at. I said, Lord, you're showing me that I have to cherish my wife even more. And also it showed me that how a hard time or a bad time can become so humbling. How it can become so humbling to the point it shows us and it allows us to see, regardless of what we think or what we do or how we see it, we all need somebody. We all need somebody. At some point in our life, we all need the care of somebody. And as I began to look at that, I began to really focus on that. And I began to think, I said, Lord, what would I do if this situation turned for the worse? What would I do? And And I'm thinking, I said, this is just me thinking, because as your mind begin to run, all kind of things begin to play in your head. But yet, I was not allowing it to conquer my mindset. It's just things just running through my mind, and I began to look at my children, and I began to talk to my children. I told my son, my 15-year-old son, I told my 14-year-old son, I said, look, we have to understand that we have to cherish the most important things in our life. We have to understand what's more important. And I took that opportunity to even teach him. He loved to get on the game system. And first thing he do once he get off of his classes, he get on the game system. And I asked him, I said, did you go check on mom? He said, just to make a long story short, he said, no, sir. Bud Files, welcome in. Thank you for coming in. Y'all please thumbs up live and share it out if you don't mind. But I appreciate you guys coming in this late. Y'all forgive me on my energy. Right now I'm dealing with 19, okay? Mouth getting dry, but my spirit is strong. So I began to use, I took that opportunity to even help him and to show him that you have to understand how to deal with things that's more important. A game system is not important. A game system will be there, but yet mom is laying in here sick. So what you have to do, you have to focus on what's more important, and it's mom's health. It's mom's health. Taking care of mom. So we went through all of that, man, and I used that, and I talked to him, and we all talked about about that whole situation. As as young folks, as we all were young at one point, we didn't all understand that type of talk when we were younger. We just being honest, we just did not. When our parents were talking to us when we was younger, we seemed to y'all excuse me. What's up, Vaughn? Thank you for coming in. Um, when I was parents was trying to teach us at things at times, it seemed like people were talking Chinese to us. It seemed like people were talking above our head when they was trying to get us to understand, to appreciate and value things that's more important. And so, yeah, I got it on. Why you can't hear it? Yeah. Okay. So, and as I began to continue to deal with this, as I began to deal with this, and this was the other day. Today, I sat here as we all found out today that we're all affected with 19. My little girl last night began to run fever, extremely high. She come in and clammed in the bed with me and her mom. And next thing you know, she's running a high temp. My other daughter started coughing. My son was coughing. It began to take a toll on me. And not only that, then I went, my dad actually, I think, has come down with it as well. And that there is a very, very scary situation for me because my dad is older, 74, and my mom is 71, and she is very sickly, have some health issues, and with them being there together, with him, possibly having it, and she don't have an immune system, it's very, very concerning. But I know God is able. That's one thing I do know. God is able. So I don't allow that to put fear in my heart because I know God is able to take care of us. So as I begin to see this, and my daughter, went through what she went through, and we found out that, excuse me, y'all, I'm so sorry. It began to deal with my spirit, man. It really began to relate with my spirit that um, that our hard times sometimes can bring us closer together. And I know somebody in this life can relate to what I'm saying. Our hard times in life can sometimes bring us together in a way that we would never have thought. Y'all excuse me. Y'all excuse me. And and so when I look at this of what I go through and what we've been through and what people have been through, I look back and I thank the Lord for what He's allowed me to see and what I have opened my spirit up and allowed myself to, for Him to show me that these hard times that I am allowing you to go through is only to make you better. How can I say I appreciate the hard time? Because that's not something that we want to do when we're going through it. When we're going through hard times, we don't want to sit there and say, I appreciate this. We just want to get out of it. When we're going through marital problems, we don't want to sit there and say, I appreciate these problems. We just want it to be over. We just want it to either resolve it or figure this thing out. When we're going through financial problems, we just want to find some kind of financial breakthrough. When we are going through death in the family, we just want some type of healing, emotional, mental healing. When we are going through substance abuse, when there's someone dealing with substance abuse, sometimes they get within themselves and they fighting it, and they want to get free. They are not thinking about enjoying that moment of being in that struggle of hard time. We are not thinking about that. Only thing we're thinking about is, when will it come to an end? When will it be over? When will it be over? When will I get another job? When will my bills get caught up? When will my marriage come together stronger? When will I be able to shake this addiction? When will I be able to get over this depression that I fight day in and day out? When will I be able to get away from it? When will the chains be broken? When? When will it be over? These are the questions that we ask. I coach with my football team, my high school football team. I help coaching out there. And right now we are undefeated and with high school football. And some of the guys we talk to, we ask themselves, what is it that we can do better to help you? Some of the things they say are that you're too hard on us. Y'all are too hard. Y'all say things that is so tough. And some of the other coaches began to talk and kind of expound on why they did what they did. And when it got around to myself, I told them, I asked them, to be honest with you, I said, when you have a pottery. And I've said this in one of my videos before. When you're molding a pottery, you don't mold this pottery and then sit it in the refrigerator. You don't sit it in the refrigerator. When someone was making this right here, before they made this, it was clay. This was clay. This was clay. But in order to get this to where it is now, it had to go through some tough times. It had to go through some hot times. It had to go through fire. It had to be set in the fire for a long period of time. And one thing about it is God did not say how long we would go through our storm. He didn't say it. He didn't say how long the hard times will last. But one thing he did say, trouble don't last always. One thing he did say, trouble don't last always. Sometimes we can sit up and we begin to think about some of the tough times that we're going through and we can't help but cry. Either be when we're by ourselves or we may be with someone. But when we stop and we look back at it and we stop focusing on the hard time and we start focusing on who God is, which is our safe haven. Through it all, he gonna see us through it. How do you know what you're saying, TJ? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I need you to come over to the table right quick. I need you to come sit with me because I got some people on live that I need to use you guys as an example. What it was, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was thrown into a furnace of fire. Like we all be done sometimes. We're all thrown in the furnace of fire. It was three, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It was three that was thrown into the furnace. But lo and behold, someone seen that it was a fourth. They seen a fourth person in there and they began to get confused. They was like, how in the world was it three people? And watch where I'm going with this, y'all. And I appreciate the people that's in here and I appreciate the ones that had to leave. Thank y'all so much. But, whoa. How is it that three people was in there, was put in there, three was put in there, but yet they see four? Who was that fourth person? Sometimes we have to be able to see what somebody else don't see. Sometimes when people they see us in a hard time, but they don't see the person that's standing there with us. They don't see the safe haven that surrounded me, that even though I'm going through what I'm going through, there is a safe haven that's right there with me. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was standing in the furnace of fire. And in that furnace of fire, we begin to see that it was three individuals that was there to be burned. But yet, it seemed four. And that ought to make somebody's skin crawl. That fourth person was God. That fourth person was God, where he showed them and was there, even trying to show them, even when you were in the fire. Oh my God. This is better than a mukbang. This is better than a mukbang, I tell you. Even when you are in a fire, I'll still be there. Somebody don't understand, and the people just left. They missing something. Some people need to know this. Some people need to know this. Sometimes we leave too quick because we think, I don't want to hear the rest of that. But one of these old days is something that you're going to want to hear that relates to this, to understand when I'm even in the fire, I know that God is still right there. He said, if I can be there then, I'll be there now. I can be in the midst right now. You know, I'm telling you. I can tell you this, if it ain't good to y'all, it's so good to me. It's good to my spirit. Because when I can look back over my life and I see where God has brought me from, and the things that he's done in my life and the things that he's continuing to do, I got a lot to be thankful for, and you should too. You might not want to tell nobody because too many people are ashamed to let the world know how good God has been to them. Too many people are ashamed to let the world know that God brought them through. Too many people are ashamed to glorify the name of God, but yet they're so quick to throw their hands in their air and say, I got my bag. I'm getting my bag. I'm out here getting my bag. What are you going to do when you can't get that bag? What are you going to do when that bag is empty? What you have to understand is you got to see that person that when that bag is empty and people see it's empty, you yet can still reach your hand in there and pull something out that people around you don't understand how you was able to pull it out. You got to understand that man name is Jesus. Oh man. Y'all don't understand. Some of y'all don't even want to hear it, I'm telling you. But I know that there's somebody that's going through it. There's somebody that's dealing with a lot of this right now. There's somebody before they go to sleep right now that's dealing with hard times. But I'm here to let you know that the hard times that you're facing, you got to allow it to mold you. You got to allow it to teach you. You got to allow it to speak to your spirit. You got to allow it to show you you. I ain't talking about show you somebody else. You got to allow it to speak to your spirit. The hard times you go through, don't be so quick to criticize the hard time and wanting people to pet you, or to pamper you, or to feel sorry for you. Because one thing about people is they'll feel sorry for you, but they'll talk about you at the same time. They'll feel sorry for you. They'll call you and tell you, if you need me, call me. Once you call them, you talk to them, they're going to tell somebody else all of your business, and they're going to spread it worse than what you told them. One thing about people is you cannot trust people. You cannot depend on people. You have to remember, even while I'm going through my hard times, even while I'm going through my storm, even though when I'm in the fire, that fourth man Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that fourth man is there, standing there with me. Even when the bag is empty, what they normally say, I'm out here getting my bag. I'm out here getting my bag. Can't nobody take my bag from me. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Somebody can take your bag away from you. But you have to understand it's not the bag that's got you going. It ain't the bag that's keeping you going. It ain't the bag that's making you, but it's God. It's Jesus is making you. So therefore, when you know where this bag is coming from, once again, I'm going to reiterate on it and I'm going to say it again. When everybody else around you see that your bag is empty, somebody ought to say thank you. When everybody else around you can see that that bag is empty, but yet you can reach your hand in that bag and you don't even know that something is in there because you just believing and trusting God that, Lord, you took care of me then and you're going to take care of me now. So when I reach my hand in there, people are seeing an empty bag. He ain't got nothing. But yet when I come out, I'm stepping out like I still got it. But you don't know what I know. And I know that man name is Jesus. That man is God. I thank him. I thank him right now. What I'm doing, I'm praising him even while we're going through what we're going through. We are going through C-19 right here in this whole house. I'm not laying here pampering myself. I'm not laying here feeling sorry for myself. I am trying to pour into somebody else. I'm trying to take this hard time and utilize it the way God would want us to do. The way that it can be utilized to bless somebody else so somebody can see me and say, you know what, I seen him. He had it. He was sick, but yet he was still pushing. Like my dad had told me today when we was checking on him, he said, no matter how I feel, and he barely could get out the car. He's like, I gotta keep pushing. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. But too many times, when hard times hit, we allow hard times to push us to the brink of giving up. We allow hard times to push us to a point that we don't want to continue to go on. Y'all have to excuse me. Breath is getting a little short. Let me try to. Y'all, excuse me just a second. Oh, man. Oh, man. I got a little fan sitting right here beside me, so. So I'm trying to give me a little air right quick if y'all don't. But I'm here to tell you that your hard times, it won't last always. Welcome in, House of X. Welcome in. Dickerson, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming in. Somebody else just came in. Y'all, I'm having to kind of catch my breath. Oh, I'm telling you, man. But see, we have to learn that even when we're going through our hard times, God is still in control. God is still in the healing business. God is still on the throne. So the situations that we're facing, I encourage you, don't allow it to dictate your praise. Don't allow it to take away your praise. I know it's tough. Miss Dawn, thank you for coming in. I know it's tough. I know it's hard. Because we only want good things in life. We only want to enjoy life. But we also have to understand and know how to deal with hard times when it do hit. We got to understand how to take that hard situation and allow it to humble us. Don't ever put yourself in a position to make yourself think, I don't need nobody. Because God can show us in the midst of our storm that you can't make it alone. You cannot make it by yourself. Even if you stand on it strong, 10 toes down, and say, I don't need nobody. Something happened to you. You're going to need either a morgue to prepare your body for the ground or cremation, or you're going to need a doctor to help see about you. Or you're going to need somebody to get you to where you need to go. Or you're going to find yourself calling on God. So I encourage you, man. Don't ever think that you don't need somebody. God is there. He's there. In the midst of your storm, He's there. Sometimes it's good to even reach out to someone. It's not for a show. It's not for publicity. If you know and you see someone is going through a hard time, even if it's just to let the person know, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. I remember once before, and I recall this vividly. Years ago, when we first started YouTube, and we were laying in the bed, and we were, well, I think my wife was asleep, and it was maybe about 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, what woke me up was a video. It was at the time my wife was dealing, well, she was liking to watch mukbangs and stuff at that time. And at that time, I thought it just extremely crazy. So she was watching some mukbangs, and so she left it on the channel of one of the people that she was watching. So a video came on of an individual that were going through something, and it was official Jamie, and I think at that time she was starting YouTube, and that's the name. At that time, I realized I didn't know much about doing videos and stuff like that, but I looked at her and I listened at her. She was going through a difficult time at that moment. She was going through a rough time. And it woke me up out of my sleep, and I began to listen, and I began to pray for the individual. I began to pray for her and her family at that time. And I did a video dedicated to her after coming from church, because God had put it on my spirit, even though I didn't know her. I didn't know her. I didn't even know how to get in touch with her. But I made it my business to reach out. And I knew she didn't know me. I didn't know her. But you don't have to know someone personally to encourage them. You don't have to know a person like a relative or a best friend to encourage them. And I reached out to her, and I showed love and wanted her to understand that we're praying for her. And that in itself showed me then that God is there. God is always there. We the one turn away from God, but God is always there. You never know who God got sitting in place to help you or to sit in place to encourage you. But you also can encourage yourself. You also can encourage yourself, tell yourself, I will not give up or give in. Even though I can't pay my rent, I'm not going to give up. Even though I'm having a hard time paying my light bill, I'm not going to give up. Even though I lost my job, I'm not going to give up. Even though I'm going through relationship problems, I'm not going to give up. I'm struggling mentally, but I'm not going to give up. It's some hard times we all face it, but I'm not going to give up. They picked my car up, but I'm not going to give up. Won't nobody answer the phone to help me, but I'm not going to give up. People are talking about me that don't even know me, but I'm not going to give up. And these are things that people are dealing with. People don't like the way I look, but I'm not going to give up. And that's what this world is designed to do, is to give you the hard times for you to be able to give up. But don't give up. Don't give in. Trust God and know that that fourth man is right there beside you. He will see you through everything that you're going through. He will see you through. He got your back. He got you. You have to have yourself too. You have to have yourself too. I wanted to get on here and encourage you guys. I hope and pray that someone takes this, listen at it clearly, and whatever you're dealing with, sickness, mental issues, depression, finances, relationship issues, and then again, you may have just a perfect life. But I got something for that too. If you got the perfect life and the perfect lifestyle, I'm here to tell you, you have one of the most worst problems it is. You have one of the most worst problems it is. Because there's no situation that's perfect. Don't tell yourself you're in the most perfect situation. Because the tables can turn within minutes, within seconds. And what do you do when it has turned on you? Guys, y'all enjoy your night. Allow your hard time to humble you. Your hard time can become very humbling. Think to yourself. Think to yourself. And know this, that God has got you. If anybody got you, God got you. I promise you, God got you. Don't give up on God, because He ain't gave up on you. Excuse me. I'm going to say this, and I'm about to go. For everything that we're going through, and everything that you go through, I want you to tell yourself this. Nothing can take place or even happen unless it's permission by God. Did y'all hear what I said? Nothing. There's no hard time. There's no difficult time. There's no situation can take place unless permission is given by God. So that should help clear up some things for y'all. That means if you're allowing me to go through it, then you already know that I can get through it. Until the next time, y'all be good. God bless you. Thank y'all so much for being on here. I really, I'm trying to get some rest and lay down. Oh, cause this stuff is a different kind of. It's different. It takes a toll on you. And just so I'm good, I'm on vacation this week. I don't have to worry about going to work. So that's a good thing that I don't have to deal with. So that was a blessing. I didn't even know I was starting my vacation until I looked at my schedule. So I was blessed with that. So, but y'all keep us in your prayers, man. Everybody that came in, thank y'all so much for coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here because my throat is so freaking dry. I done drunk up all that water sitting here talking to y'all. My throat is dry. I'm starting to get really drowsy, woozy. And the later it gets, seems like the worse it goes setting in on you. And so I can sit right here and just fall asleep. Cause I just ain't got no energy just about. So oh man. But I wanted to encourage y'all, man. I want to just step in and encourage y'all. Um, y'all be good. God bless you. Keep your head up. Keep fighting. Do what you're supposed to do. Hang in there. Everything gonna be all right. I promise. Everything's gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right. I promise you, it's gonna be all right. Trust and believe it. Trust and believe it. So until the next time, guys. God bless you, and we will see you guys a little bit later, man. Thank y'all for coming in at such a late notice, man. Thank y'all so much for coming in. I appreciate y'all. So y'all be good, man. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.